So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start recording. So tonight is a very special night, primarily because one of our players cannot make it, but also because we will be doing a Halloween special. Now, as it goes, you will all still be using your very same characters as they are currently. Mind you, for the purposes of this session, you will be considered to be at full strength. So you will have access to all of your spells and everything like that. Additionally, I did say I was going to bring this up in the next recording, or in the next session. We have a new mechanic, spell points, which is a variant for spell slots. This is done for a couple reasons. One, it gives the players more flexibility with your spells, although there are still some restrictions on particular levels, and we'll get into those later. But also because only being able to cast, let's say, four third level spells at level 18, at least to me, doesn't seem right. You know, those are all in all relatively compared, fairly weak spells for a party of level 18 adventurers, and especially a party of chosen and particularly special and gifted adventurers such as yourselves. With that being said, in this variant, each spell has a point cost based on its level. The spell point cost table, which you can find in the updated rules. It is the most recent post that I have there. The spell point cost table summarizes the cost and spell points of slots from 1st to 9th. Cantrips, not requiring slots, do not require spell points. Instead of gaining a number of spell slots to cast your levels using your spellcasting feature, you instead gain spell points and use that instead. As for restrictions, spells of 6th level and higher are still particularly taxing to cast. You can use spell points to create effectively one slot of level 6 or higher. However, you cannot create another of that slot until after you've finished a long rest. So just keep that in mind.
Wait, you cut out there, I'm sorry.
Did I? Where did I cut out?
Yeah, spells of 6th level and higher are particularly taxing to cast.
Okay, so yeah, those are particularly taxing to cast. Hang on, let me, that's the wrong way to roll that. Just gonna close my window here real quick. There we go. Spells of 6th level or higher use the spell points to effectively create that level. So a 6th level spell slot would cost 9 points to create. However, once you create that spell slot using spell points, you cannot create another of that same level until you finish a long rest. So you can create 1 6th, 1 7th, 1 8th, and 1 9th per long rest. However, 5th level and lower you can cast as long as you have the points to cast it. Now, for all of you, you are level 19 now, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so at level 19, your maximum spell slot is obviously 9th level. And for the spellcasters, you have, for the full spellcasters, you have 123 spell points. Adwin, are you a full caster?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would also have 123 spell points. So for you, Astaria, because I know this might be a little confusing for you, the way we're going to track this, and you can feel free to do this as well, Adwin. So under here where you have like your limit break and whatnot, we'll just add another one, okay, and we'll use that for your spell points.
Oh, I'd love that.
So
Fun fact,
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but at the same point, there is already something in the sheet to do that.
Oh.
The track spell
Is there?
points. Yeah, if you go to the gear tab,
Uh-huh.
to general options on the far right,
Yeah.
at the bottom of that box, there is
Oh, yeah,
spell
spell
points
points.
1.
Oh, yo, all right.
Yeah, I'm just simplifying,
Oh yeah, no,
hopefully.
that's way easier. Do you see that where it is, Mars?
And this gives the cost and...
Oh, yeah, and they have them all. Yeah, because
Um,
this is just the...
So over where like your advantage toggle, whisper toggle, and all that is, that column, at the very bottom
Yeah.
of that, like
Oh.
right above where it says general
it.
options. Yeah. All right. And you go over spells, and I think it changes it over there.
Though I wish it would... Where... It doesn't have anywhere to track this on the sheet itself anywhere, though,
Yeah.
huh?
It changed the spell sheet area.
Yeah. So like
Yeah, it
6
doesn't have anywhere to
is-
track the total.
Okay, so I'll just put
Is-
that in
Yeah.
my... I'm just gonna put that in my little resources thing on the...
Yeah. So
where I...
still put it in the resources. So right now, Mars,
Yeah.
you have 123.
I also recommend adding little like mark off areas for 7, 6, and higher levels, so you can mark off when you use those.
Yeah. Well, it still has that. Like those
Yeah, no, never
numbers
mind.
that it can use. Over
Yeah, you
and
can
over.
set
Oh,
them
yeah,
as, Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so this not only allows far greater flexibility for all of you, it also means that you can be a little bit more loose with some of these spells that you might not necessarily always just cast, like Hold Person, for example. If someone has a really high save, you might not want to cast that, 3 or 4 times. However, with spell points, you have a lot more power and a lot more capabilities as a spellcaster. And you can afford to try that spell a couple of times to see if you can get it to work. Or you could just throw fireballs. It's up to you.
Me.
Now, this does not change how stabs or any of those work, mind you. Those still have charges that work out charges and yada yada. So yeah, that's the new mechanic that I have introduced. Hopefully you all like it.
Yeah. So, for sure we can just use I can, if I want to sit and spam healing word as action on every single round for a minute-long fight, I can do that, because they still put the slots there.
So
as
you
the
don't.
thing.
So technically, you don't use slots. Okay.
Right.
So healing word. Let's say you want to cast it at 5th level every round, right? So that is 7 points, right? If you spend 7 points every round to cast healing word at 5th level, you can do that.
Okay.
As long as you have the spell points for it. A 5th level or lower spell, you can just cast as long as you have the points.
Okay.
Mind you, the whole casting of a leveled spell rule still applies. So you can't healing word and then like fireball, for example.
Okay.
But you could like healing word firebolt.
Yeah.
Which
I can't do that until next level. That is my literal capstone ability to let me do that.
want to cast 2 leveled spells?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, nice.
I think there's some kind of a restriction where like one of them can't be
You probably can't cast the second one. Probably can't be of a higher level.
Yeah. Or something like that.
The second one can be a max of 4th level, I believe.
Something like that, yeah. Which, whatever.
It's either
even if
4th or 5th.
Even if it's just me dropping fucking fireballs.
Fireball, 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 fireball. Anyways, so with that, do our spellcasters have any questions about the new system?
How are we to determine the cost of each spell?
So on your spell sheet, something I noticed, if you go over to your spells, there's a number there.
Or remaining
Hang
zero
on.
spell slots?
No, Coca.
I'm trying to get the
if you-
character sheet to load. Hang on.
Points column that's now there, that's the cost of that level of spell. So you see
Yeah,
how
so
it's
the-
1, then
So like a sixth is 9, right? Because the 9 is right next to the 6. A third is 5 points. A first is 2 points. And then like to cast a 9th level spell, it's 13 points.
How should we treat stuff like the MP plus materia? Just adding to the total, or just recharging?
What's the wording of it? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, actually that is a good
you
point.
regain a certain number of slots, I believe.
Wait, I don't. Hold on, my thing's not. So for my very rare MP plus, once between long rests, you can use an action to regain a spell slot. If the expended spell slot is of 7th or higher, the new slot is 6th level.
So
Or you can use it to, get
that
a
would
materia
be
back.
the equivalent of points.
Okay.
So you would get so for yours, for example, Aidwin, you would get
9 points back.
yeah, you would get 9 points back.
Okay.
Works for me. I just wanted to make sure. Wasn't sure if it was going to be that, or just like making it like the games, just having it boost stuff.
Yeah, it would restore the spell points. Alternatively, do remember you can also use it to restore green materia of the same rarity or lower.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Star?
No, I don't have anything. That's.
I'm good.
Alright. Well, with that said, we shall go ahead and dive right into tonight's spooky campaign. So, as all of your eyes open once more, you all find yourself in what might seem like a startlingly familiar black void, as you seem to be a magnet for these sort of things, as one is wont to do as the protagonists. However, this one's different. Rather than it simply being nothing but a black void, you instead find yourselves standing on what looks like a giant circle with various intricate designs emblazoned inside of it. I'd like for everyone to go ahead and give me perception checks. Plith and Funkle.
You said perception?
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of just assumed it was.
Yeah, sorry.
Very good.
Now you just like cut off a few of the letters, so it didn't hear
Oh.
perception. I heard percept checks.
Give me some Percy checks, please.
Ah, shit.
Some of them Percy Jackson checks. me just a moment.
My mom's Demeter, goddess of grain. Sorry.
Doobie-doobie-doo-ba-doobie-doobie-doo-ba. Y'all will either love me or hate me for what I'm about to do to you. We'll see.
Oh,
ooh,
no.
fantastic. This is made with vectors. I mean, of course it would be, but fantastic. Please, or Doom training. Well, you'll see. So as you all look around and try to figure out exactly what it is you're standing on and looking at, most of you notice that there are what look like runic sigils on the very outside of what looks like a multi-tiered circle. There's one very thick, what looks like a very pronounced edge to the circle, and just inside of that are these runic sigils. Interlaced in them, Astaria. In between these runic sigils, you begin to notice something that is hard word to say, let me tell you. Startlingly familiar.
Startlingly.
That word, yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But you notice the symbol of different classes interlaced in these sigils. You notice the first one you notice is the one for your class, Astrology, directly behind you. Another one you see is for a Darkling. You also see a Machinist, a Dragoon, a Monk, and a Red Mage symbol. But at the very top and bottom of this circle, of this first exterior circle, are two symbols that are not related to any of these classes. You see one that looks like the right side of a crescent moon. This one is at the top. At the very bottom, you notice a circle with a single dot at the very center. The rest of you do continue on to notice that just beyond these sigils are two more circles, slightly spaced apart. And inside of those circles, just beyond those, is where all of you are standing. Not in any particular spot, necessarily. However, you all do notice that there are different images in this second tier of this strange circle. And inside of that is yet another double circle. And inside of that you see what looks like just effectively a large like splotch. Just like if someone were to take a paint bucket and just fling the paint and it just kind of splattered there. But yeah, other than that, as you look around, this is the only thing you currently see.
I'll point it out to everyone.
So you said like behind us are all of our job symbols, right?
The job symbols are on the very outside, the very exterior of this entire circle.
Is there any the like pedestals by it, or is it just like engraved on the wall?
So it's just like this giant. It's almost like a giant magic circle, if you will.
Oh, I see. So okay.
Yeah, it's just like, and all of these are like engravings into the circle, like a part of the actual circle.
Can you get to like any of the symbols easily, or is there some? Is like parts of the circuitry blocking? Can we get over them? Or?
No, you can walk right over to him if you want.
Yeah, Cypress will just go right with this.
I'll walk up to the gunbreaker symbol.
And I'll walk up to mine.
Alright.
Yeah.
So each of you stand on your relative symbol. And as you do, at first, there's nothing. You all kind of look at each other. But just as one of you begins to sort of move to step off, all of them immediately flare to life, and this giant beam erupts around you. What do you do?
Oh shit.
So you're essentially now all in your own beam.
Oh, beam. Okay, I see.
Yeah, beam.
I am stepping out.
You try to step out, and you're pushed back into the circle.
Guys!
I touch my symbol.
Nothing seems to happen.
Does this beam hurt?
No. It just kind of, it's like it's almost like it repels you backwards to keep you inside of the circle.
Strange.
Can I try to make an Arcana and see what the hell's going on?
I was actually about to say, what are your third level spells?
Oh, my third level spells are... Oh, I could try to teleport out of it.
Well, just real quick, what are your third level spells?
Fireball, Haste, Thunder Step, Lightning Bolt.
What about you, Star? What are your third level spells? Not including the
Mass
staff.
healing world. Fucking world.
The
Word?
world.
Fucking
The
heal
what?
the world. Mass healing world. Revivity, tongues, and counterspell.
Okay.
I also have...
I've
You
got
also have what,
counterspell.
sorry?
I'm not counting the staff spells I can do.
Right. What? You also have what? Sorry, Edwin?
Revivify through my materia.
I'll say, Edwin and... Actually, Sacrius, what are your third level spells?
Counterspell, Pulse Wave, and Tongues are what I have prepared.
What do you have on your, like, what do you have for your character? Like, not just prepared, just in total.
That and Tongue. I mean, that and Slow.
In total? Because that was not all my spells.
Yeah, I'm not the staff. I'm not.
No, she's a prepared caster. She knows all of the spells for her class.
Do you
Yeah, that's
have
what I
Magic
mean.
Circle on your spell list?
Yes?
Okay. Star, you immediately recognize this once you're pushed back as a magic circle.
Guys, they're magic circles.
What do I do then?
Well, this is clearly a trap.
Don't know what Magic Circle does.
Keeps things out or in, depending on
Uh,
the will of the
Adrian,
caster.
go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Well, we'll see if Adrian's able to recall it in character. 17. Yeah, that's easy enough. So, it creates a 10-foot radius, 20-foot tall cylinder of magical energy centered on a point on the ground that you can see within range. Choose one or more of the following types of creatures: celestial, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. The circle affects a creature of the chosen type in the following ways. The creature can't willingly enter the cylinder by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use teleportation or interplanar travel to do so, it must first succeed a charisma saving throw. The creature has disadvantage on attack throws against targets within the cylinder. Targets within cylinders can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by the creature. When you cast a spell, you can elect to cause its magic to operate in the reverse direction, preventing a creature of the specified type from leaving the cylinder and protecting targets outside of it.
Okay.
And this is all stuff you would know as well, Staria. And you too, Sacrius, given your magical intuition. Because you're an arcanist and they do nothing but fucking read books all day.
Nerd.
But yeah, so all the spellcasters, you know what a magic circle is.
Okay.
And you know exactly what it does.
So we can't counter it because we're already in it.
Dispel it?
I will try and teleport out the dimension door.
Okay, make a charisma saving throw.
Okay. Ugh, probably not.
Nope. You try to, and for a brief moment, you all watch as Sacrius disappears, but then there's this like reverberation against the barrier, and he reappears. But
Blast.
yeah, I was gonna say, but for those who wish to dispel, are you going to? Yeah. So from the staff, 3rd level. Go ahead and make me a spellcasting ability check. And it is a check, so you do have advantage. Because Hattie, but unfortunately an 11 is not enough. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. It's Magic Circle's a 3rd level spell. There is no check needed. So you raise the staff and wave it, and your circle just drops.
Okay, shit.
Yeah.
How far am I away from somebody else?
Let's see. You are about.
Do you have dispel?
You have about
I
70
don't.
feet. You're about
Oh,
70
okay.
feet.
Okay. I'm going to cast Thunderstep to try to get out.
Make Christmas saving throw.
Christmas saving throw.
Yeah, make a Christmas saving throw. Because this is a very spooky session.
Save against insult.
Save against Santa Claus.
What's this? What's this?
But a 20 as you concentrate and release the energy for the thunder step. You vanish with a thunderous boom, and there's a brief pause as the barrier shimmers and you reappear inside of it.
Oh.
I'll just let y'all out, okay?
Please.
Make sure to mark off the
Yeah, I was
targets
just
for
about
each of them.
to go down to mark down everybody's churches.
That's 3 more uses, but with that, each of them are dispelled.
That was annoying.
You can tell
No.
me about it.
Since no one's asked it yet, how did we get here in the first place?
It's a great question.
Followed by where are we and what Asian brought us here, because I know you're around there, asshole.
Actually, no. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and cast True Seeing on myself and just circle the area, scanning everything for anything invisible or anyone.
I mean, if there was anyone invisible that was near, I'd see them.
That's
Very
true. Which is why I'm attempting to delay as much time. You know what? I'm not even gonna search through my library to find this image. I'm just gonna re-download it and re-upload it. I was trying to stall so that way I could give a certain image, and so you could see the thing, but I'm having difficulties. Oh wait, no, that was it. No, go back. That was the correct one. Yes. Do 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 ba do be do ba. I want this image. Thank you. Save. Oh, don't put it in the school projects. That's not where we want it. Okay. Technical difficulties. Because I do have a map, although the map is not the exact one as to where you are, but it's close enough. And it will do for now. Where did I put it? Did I not put it? No, there it is. I'm stupid. Okay. I'm going to bring you all over. So, this is effectively what you're standing on, although the job symbols are yours. TPK is not in the center.
Oh.
Oh no.
Well, y'all haven't exactly, called yourselves that yet. So I would like for all of you to drag yourselves out and place yourself wherever it is that y'all are having this conversation. You can choose of your volition. Just remember, it must be on the circle.
Ah, yes, and did Zacharias never get an actual token?
Nope.
No, he did.
No. That's why I dragged from my sheet.
That's not an actual token. That's a square.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. I keep forgetting, apparently. I got a lot of shit that I gotta do.
Zachary should just sort of call Lux to his side as he just sort of starts looking around.
Yeah. Interesting positions. So, as you're saying that, both Star and Zacharias, as you cast True Seeing, you both see materializing, invisible, towards the center area, but significantly larger, gargantuan specifically in size, since he actually needs to be one size larger. You see this very, very, very tall, robed figure with this hood pulled over his head, masking most of his facial features. And you can see him smiling down at you, and for Zacharias and Astoria, you can see him speak. But for the other two, all you simply hear is a voice. And it says, "Well, for starters, I'm not an Asian, but I did bring you here."
And what do you want with us, disembodied voice?
It's not disembodied.
It's big, and Rakshana, you're right in front of it.
I'm gonna back.
I wanted to run a experiment of sorts, let's say. To see
Don't you know
how...
the concept of consent? Specifically informed consent?
But you see, if you knew what you were going into, you wouldn't be scared, and, well, that ruins the experiment.
I mean,
So,
you're more likely to piss me off than actually scare me.
tell me then, what are you scared of?
I'll let you know when I find that out.
One of those adventures, I see.
I mean, it's kind of what we gunbreakers do.
Isn't it, though? It's so interesting. How about we go back and see what you do when it's more difficult? As he snaps his fingers, you all find yourselves shunted back and once more placed at your symbols inside of the magic circles. Now, simply putting you back there wouldn't be an interesting challenge. So instead, we'll make it more interesting. We'll make it so that you can't simply remove the circles. And we'll see just how you cope when you're all alone. And with that, you all once more hear the snapping of fingers before the circles that were once producing lights and allowing you to see vanish. Though, moving your hand forward, you can tell the circle itself is still there, the magic circle. But what's more is the odd sensation that you all feel immediately following the vanishing of the lights. It's this, like, almost trickling cold sensation. I honestly am not sure how to describe it, but it's like that chill that you get up your spine, right? But it's just like it's constantly there. It doesn't go away. But that's when all of you find yourselves opening your eyes again, and rather than being in those circles, you find yourselves standing next to each other in a forest. A forest of dead trees and a lack of any sign of life. As a note, because True Seeing and the robe, this is not an illusion.
Ooh.
Well,
This ground is in fact ground.
maybe some kind of demi-plane.
Perhaps.
I wonder what he's going to send to us to have a party with.
Do you see any ways to go, or is it just another enclosed area?
You look around, and as far as any of you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any path necessarily. The environment itself seems very dismal and bleak. Very almost post-apocalyptic. You can tell that this was / maybe is a forest. There's trees everywhere, but there's no signs of life in any of these trees. There are no leaves. You don't hear any animals. It's eerily silent.
Is it just... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that Star will have all the robe eyes shut and close her own, kneel down. senses outwards, as she did in the forest back home.
I'm
Okay.
just popping my 3 plus materia, regaining that 6th level.
Okay. Yeah, so as you kneel down once more to try and extend out your senses, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Alright.
26. So as you do, it's very difficult. But not because this isn't the forest. There's almost no aether in this ground. The little bit of aether you're able to connect with, it's startling how barren of aether this place is. There is some aether, and as a result, a sign of life. There is a sign of life because of it, but the aether in this area it's vanishing, and at this point, it's almost completely gone.
Mm. I think she'd relay that back to the group. There's so little aether here. It's hard to reach out.
That can't be good.
No, it can't be.
She'll unfold her gunblade from her arm. Something's got to be going on here.
As you do that, the gunblade itself has this like soft blue glow that it didn't have before. Magnus?
I'm sorry,
Did I cut out?
was blowing my nose. No, I was
Oh,
blowing
okay.
my nose. I
Okay.
didn't realize I didn't unmute before saying what I said, and she said, well, well, that's new. Odd time to start glowing, but
Any idea what it means?
I wish I did, but I don't. I only acquired this gunblade quite recently. I still don't know all it has in terms of power within.
I wonder, does the pull out a rapier?
Sorry, I cut out again. What was that?
Oh, Edwin's just gonna kind of muse and see if her weapon also is lit up.
Okay. You pull yours out. It is not.
Okay.
Cypress check his
Oh.
grimoire.
Nope. Roxana, I'll say go ahead and make an investigation check. As you sort of
All right.
look your blade over. 26. So as you sort of look it over and inspect it, trying to find maybe any new sigils or glyphs that might have appeared, or any kind of indication as to why it's glowing. And one thing you note as you're moving it around is the intensity of the glow varies.
Okay.
I don't know if you said anything, because I just cut out again.
I will try to find where the intensity is greatest and point it in that direction.
Alright. So, as you begin to slowly swing it about, you do notice a very steady and gradual increase in its intensity until you get to a single point where it begins to start to dim, and realigning it, you do find the point where it is the strongest.
I'm not sure what this glow means or why it's glowing, but the intensity seems to change depending on which direction we're going. Who's up for following the glowing sword to wherever it leads us?
I've got no
I'll
better
follow.
ideas.
Yep.
It's probably some nightmare creature waiting for us. This should be
Oh,
fun.
You know it.
goody.
Almost certainly.
Alright. So, as you begin to follow, the blade, making sure to keep the intensity as high as possible as you go, you find it's weaving you in a path. Just gotta pull one thing up real quick. And as it is, first you find it turning you left, and then right, and you keep going, and then you take another right, and then another left, and then another left, and you keep going for what seems like maybe 200-300 feet before the intensity seems to just cut out entirely. And as you move it around, it seems to lead you backwards before leading you left and then right again. And this entire time, the only scenery you have are these dead trees. Everything seems the exact same. But as it leads you to this final point where the glow seems to begin softly pulsating, you find at the center what looks like a bunch of like burned sticks and leaves that are kind of ramshackled, almost like words. It's almost like they are trying to form a nest, but it looks like the nest was like burned or destroyed. Yeah.
Oh.
And for those who wish to keep track of the path that you took, I will post the exact directions and everything in a moment in the Discord. But until then, continue to discuss.
Oh. What do you suppose this means? I mean... Why would the sword lead us here, of all places?
Yeah, what's the big deal about some nest in the middle of the forest?
I don't like that.
Yeah, Adwin just kind of side-eyeing Astaria, like, does this look familiar to you?
Stares at the big hole in the sky. Familiar? Yeah?
As you look up and around, it might be the same one, but
Hard to tell.
as you recall, the one that you had found in your forest was it was in like a grove, like a clearing of sorts, where there were no trees around it. This one, however, seems to have trees almost everywhere. And these trees don't look anywhere near as tall, but that could also maybe just be a part of the natural decay of Aether. You're not entirely sure.
I mean, it could be, but I remember the other one being a grove. Less trees.
Oh, yeah, man.
But then what could this be if it's not?
I'ma check out the nest. Like, let's go hopping on in there.
Alright, go ahead and make an investigation check. Natural 20 for a 23. So, as you begin searching through what little remains, you are able to tell that this nest was burned. And as you look around to everything else, this area wasn't simply depleted of aether. This place was scorched dry of life. The fact these trees are even here, based off of what you're able to find and see, is a miracle. Whatever torched these lands destroyed whatever aether was here. The nest, however, aside from revealing that, because admittedly that was a relatively high investigation, but you rolled a 23. It was DC 20, so. But yeah, so other than that, though, the nest itself doesn't contain anything.
It was burned.
I cut out again.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Aha.
I heard you say it was burned.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned?
It seems like all of this was scorched, and that is part of why the aether's gone. I mean, it's a miracle any of these trees are still here.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Aidwin, go ahead and make an Arcana check. And a Religion check, both of them.
Arcana and religion.
Another natural 20 on the Religion, alright. As you say that and you get that bad feeling, you realize why you get that bad feeling. And you know what scorched these lands.
Oh, I have a feeling I do.
It was Ifrit. Furthermore, I would like everyone to make a perception check. Just real quick. And Aidwin, do you reveal all that information?
With kind of with her head down, she's just kind of. Ifrit did this.
Good lord. I'm sorry, I mean by the 12th.
Alright, as you're all looking around and starting to really take this all in, Aidwin, you get this almost primal feeling in your gut. Like,
No.
almost like you know where you are, but you just can't place it. Like, you have an instinctual knowledge of exactly where you are, but you just can't place where. Rakshana, the trees around here, as you're looking and starting to take in more of the scenery that you do have, this was an exceptionally large forest.
This forest was huge. For Ifrit to burn everything. He must have been out of control. Where was the Warrior of Light in all of this, I wonder?
Where were we?
I'm guessing this is... I'm guessing we are somehow... I don't know, maybe... moved through time? Brought to a different dimension? Perhaps this is all a fabricated place, and any association we draw is of our own creation.
Hope
Really?
so.
For which one?
That it's just not that it's not this is basically just like a pocket thing and not something that's actually happened or will happen.
Well, if it's something that's... If we're displaced in time... Any other questions?
So real quick, I just cut out again. I heard you say something about wasting time. And that's where you cut
No,
out.
displaced.
Or displaced in time. I heard that part, and then you cut out.
She was speculating how possibly the party has been either displaced in time somehow because magic is fucky like that, or transported to a different... She said dimension, but could possibly be one of the other shards. I don't know if she knows about the shards,
No.
so I
The
didn't say
shards.
shards.
Yeah, the shards themselves are a very little known thing. They aren't really ever
Yeah,
known, so.
and then she concluded with it could possibly be that this isn't even a place that necessarily exists beyond the creation of whoever
Mhm.
brought them here, and this is all just
A
not an
fabrication.
illusion, but
A fabrication.
yeah.
Okay. We'll continue on.
But you definitely recognize the scorch marks as Ifrit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it is a fabrication, it's a good one then.
Yeah.
You can definitely say that.
You know, I didn't want to say anything, because it's not really my place.
It seems to never
But-
be your place to speak.
But didn't Adwin have some kind of dream about burning down a forest?
No, that was a town. That was a town, wasn't it? Looks at it.
It was-
It's Gridania, so it's a forest town.
It was Gridania, which
It
was in
was
the
a-
middle of a forest.
So the answer is yes. It's
An extraordinarily large forest.
so. Oh, did anybody ever? Oh no, that happened when she was here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she knows about that. So either somebody is playing off of a subconscious fear, or we're displaced into a future where we don't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my vote is for us to get out of here.
That's not helpful, but thank you.
I'm
I
not
mean-
very helpful as a hat.
Yeah. Wait, as a hat.
Why is that hat talking?
That's true. Zacharias hasn't
Just-
seen the hat talk yet.
She'll tug down on Hetty a bit. Because he does. So,
Because I'm a
Sometimes.
sentient item or a construct, whatever you prefer.
Well, I prefer my companions silent. Well, at least companions that work being silent. One looks at Lux, so I'm glad I didn't end up with you.
Well, carbuncles are known for their mindlessness.
Lux will hiss at him.
you hiss at my head, I'll step on your cat.
Oh, damn.
You would hurt a carbuncle?
Technically speaking, it's not a cat.
She'll like puff up her chest a bit. Well, you know Chocobo floof, but she can't floof. So her chest just puffs up and her cheeks do too. Like, yeah, fucker, come at me.
Now, do I have to knock you both out and carry you around?
No,
Because I'll do it.
It's not
I
my-
mean, we can knock him out. He likes silent companions anyways. That way he doesn't have to hear us.
It's not my fault your hat is an asshole.
He
It's not
looks
my fault. You're an asshole.
I might
Hey,
be
look
an
at the
asshole, but at
hole.
least I don't have one.
I've been trying to work with you all just fine. Apologies, Lux,
Velvy
is
is-
insult.
Velvy is just looking at the handle of her gunblade longingly. Like, I really want to hit someone with this right now! Because none of this is helpful.
Roxana, make an intelligence saving throw for me.
Oh no.
I mean, I need resilient for this.
No, you
I
don't.
need resilient!
No, you don't.
Note to self, train for resilient after I train for the +1 in constitution.
So, as you look at your gunblade longingly, wanting to just hit something, all of you see simply appearing in front of Roxana is what looks like a training dummy. Before Roxana, and before you can even really recognize what you're doing, Roxana, you just find your hand just gripping that gunblade and just swinging at it.
I look to my hand, I look to the training dummy. Huh. I wonder. Roxana thinks about a large stack of gil, equaling 100,000 gil, and longing for it. Longing for 100,000 gil.
sadly, the guild does not appear. Seems like there
Too
might
easy, I
be.
guess, though.
Seems like there might be some kind of limit on it.
Uh, she longs for 10,000 gil.
No, damn it.
Got
not
it. So
getting
that's the
free
DM
money.
saying. That's the DM saying there's no gil in this world. Got it.
That's me saying you're not
Zacharias.
getting free money.
Man, if
Zacharias.
a
Zacharias longs for something that'll help get them out of here.
That's a fair one to long for. In which case, Sacris, go ahead and give me an intelligence saving throw, please. All right. Appearing in front of you, at first, is a horse. But as it appears, it begins to change. And it goes from a horse to a chocobo to a carriage through any number of creatures that had been domesticated and used for mounts. And does this all very, very rapidly before it stops and splits into 4 motorcycles.
I was personally hoping for the regalia.
Huh.
I said no, none of you know what a motorcycle is.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Just listen to
what is this
Aaron's gonna poke
thing?
the side of it.
You poke it. Go ahead and give me a strength check. I'll laugh you fucking roll nat 20.
I don't have strength. It's a 7. That shouldn't have been an advantage.
Yeah, 7. You poke it, it kind of moves ever so slightly, not very much, but seems like it's a pretty heavy thing. It's made of metal.
Are there any buttons?
Several, in fact.
Random.
There's also this like weird gauge on it that has like an E and an F on either side, with this little needle that is sort of hanging or pointing towards the E.
Oh.
That's not gonna help us get out of here, Bait! If it's toward the
Technically, they
E,
can.
they're out of fuel!
Technically, they can, though. And, get creative.
So, this was the exact kind of stuff I was expecting when I tried to cast a wish spell.
I don't know what it is.
I will use my knowledge of early technology and try to figure out what it is. Does it count as magical?
Technically, they would be. Well, is Magitech magical? I mean, technically, Magi's in the name. Yeah, I would say it's magical.
Yeah,
so-
the whole point of Magitech is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fusion of magic and tech.
So yeah, it would be a investigation check.
Okay.
All right. Looking these things over, they seem to run off of Aether, which just to point out, magic is effectively aether. Everything is made of aether, including magic. But these run off of aether. You're not entirely sure how much aether each one can carry, but investigating them, they seem like they might be a little tricky to handle, but they have wheels.
Star, do you have more of those aether crystals? These things run on aether.
Yeah, I got a lot.
I'll take one and sort of try to feed it into it, like I'm like the fuel. Well, out of character, I know it's a fuel tank. In character, I wouldn't realize it. I'll try it there.
Okay. So placing the crystal close to where the gauge is, doobie doobie doo. I mean, the type doesn't actually matter. So, just that it actually has something in it. Ooh, really good roll. Yeah, it drains the crystal completely. And you watch as the little pointer doesn't quite reach full, but gets very close to it.
Huh. Yeah, use one of those crystals on each of these. That worked.
Edwin's gonna sit on the seat of one and see if there's anywhere for her to just channel in aether to it herself.
Well, make an investigation check.
No. Sorry about that. I'm guessing crystals. Crystals solve the problem again.
Yeah,
As they
it
always do.
seems so. Or aether specifically. He just chose to use a crystal for the first one.
Oh, okay, but it's still
Yes,
it's still
crystal
crystals.
solved the problem. Yes.
As
go
a lot
figure.
of things have been solved by crystals in this game.
That's very true. Y'all should, if we didn't already want to trademark TPK, like the Crystal Knights would also work at this point.
Yeah.
TCK? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the only one wearing heavy armor, though.
That's
The
true.
crystal bearers.
But Aidwin,
But
as
TPK
you
is funner.
yeah, that's true. As you look it over and sort of dust it off a little bit, there doesn't seem to be like a specific point of insertion. You do know from what you saw of what Sacrius did. Sacrius just took the crystal itself and kind of held it up towards where the gauge is, and after a moment it began to siphon the aether from it.
I'm just gonna kind of put, or Edwin's just gonna kind of put her hand over the fuel gauge and try to try to like channel some ether into it.
Okay. Are you just like baseline, just like that, or are you trying to pump some magical prowess into it? It's up to you.
Let's try to put like the equivalent of a 3rd level spell slot in.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a d6 plus 3. All right.
Oof.
As you concentrate and release the energy, the gauge does move a little bit, although it does not seem like all of the energy was transferred successfully. But it seems to have worked a little bit.
Does it need more?
Yeah.
Here, try lightning.
And she'll put the crystal towards that then.
Alright. Doing that. So yeah, doing that, after a moment, it begins to siphon out all of the aether, and doesn't quite get to the same point that the first one did, but gets pretty close to it. So it's nearly full as well. So there's 2 that are nearly full.
It's a good thing you like Crystal Star.
It's more like I. But yeah,
I
I
mean-
like them.
I mean, fair. Something tells me you had a bunch of them before Chisume came along, though.
No. Well, yes.
I was about to say, I don't believe you.
Shit, you're right. I did have them before. Oh,
Out
it's
of
been a long
character?
time.
Out of character? Yeah, I
We
know you
did.
had them before. You had them back
Yeah.
when...
That's why I had to double take. I was like, wait, no, we
Yeah.
got them at the man-eating wall.
Yeah, I was gonna... Busa was still here when you got them.
Yep.
I'm the only reason the only reason Velvy's making that comment specifically is because she's smart. You've always had Crystal. is her guess.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's what it looks like. Maybe that looks like it might be a bit tricky to control. What it looks like. Maybe we need to take them back to the spot they were originally. The spot we basically turned away from. So my guess is, well, my only guess right now.
I pushed a button on one of the ones that the gauge changed.
There are... Alright, so there are 4 buttons. There is a blue, there is a red, there is a green, and there is a purple. Which one do you press?
Not the red one.
Okay. Press the red, all 4 explode.
Let's go with blue.
Okay. So you press the blue one, and you watch as this, like, projection of a screen appears in front of that one. And it begins to display a whole bunch of different system information, such as the engines, tires, suspension, essentially like it's doing a diagnostic check of all of its parts. And as it goes down, you watch as each one just says, okay, 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 for all of them.
She looks to Sacrius. Do you know what any of that means?
He'll hit the blue button and go, it's, as well.
It's a diagnostic check.
Like, yep, it's diagnostic, just making sure everything's working.
Fair enough.
I'll try the purple button.
On the same bike or a different one?
My bike. At least my bike I'm on.
Already. So one that does not have any Aether in it yet? No, yours was the first one.
Yes.
Alright. So, rather than displaying a diagnostic screen, sorry, hang on. You hear what sounds like a thunderstep. Before the bike and Sacrius both vanish.
What the hell just happened with that? And which button did he push?
Make a perception check. Actually, what's your passive perception? 21. You'd have seen it. It was a purple one.
I'll push the green one.
The green one.
I want to say the red one.
Okay.
I don't know.
So the green one, you hear the roaring of an engine. For the red one, you hear nothing.
Oh, maybe the red one turns it off.
I mean, as long as the red one doesn't make it explode. That was...
For you, Sacrius.
In front of Bahamut alone.
Yes. Roll initiative. No. You find yourself back at the magic circle. No longer on the bike. And as you look around, you see all three of the other members slumped over on the ground.
Zacharias is going to start trying to just start getting people up. Meanwhile, Alex is just going to go over and just sort of start pawing at Hattie.
You are still trapped in your magic circle.
Oh, never mind then. And no motorcycle at all around me?
All around me is a pillar of light.
It
Going
doesn't
nowhere.
like me.
Don't like me.
And the motorcycle is just gone, correct?
Correct.
Oh, well, I actually did that right then.
I think you're supposed to sit on it.
Nope, don't have that spell. Alright.
Whenever you wish to do something, Sacrius, just let me know and we'll jump over to you. Okay? So if you want to do something now, just let me know. We can do that.
I have an idea, but it's probably a bad idea in this area.
You can try it. It's up to you. What do you want to do?
But I'm not kind of. He is also not going to pass this Christmas saving throw. Trying to get out. Can I take a closer look at the circle, see if I can find someone like sort of deactivated? Without,
Yeah. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
thank you.
28. Looking about the circle itself, once one of these kind of circles is sort of in place like this, there's no real way to cancel its effect without something like a Dispel Magic. Alternatively, technically speaking, Magic Circle has a duration. You're just not entirely sure how long this one might last.
Alright, Zachary's going to just sort of sit down and wait, hope it'll eventually dispel itself. And if basically like an hour passes and nothing, well, I've got something.
Alright. So for the rest of you, Rakshana, Star, and Edwin.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Sorry, what?
What are you doing?
I'll press the green button on mine and mess around with like
I'ma
the
sit on
handles.
Alright.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean, pressing the green one, yours also roars to life. The handles themselves, as you sort of twist and turn them, seem to affect the revving of the engine and seem to imply a helping of speed. I don't know anything about motorcycles. I'm trying to describe motorcycles. Congratulations.
Star's gonna take everything she learned. She's gonna sit on hers. She's gonna feed it crystals. She's gonna copy
So,
the buttons that Edwin
hold
has
on,
pressed to
hold on.
make it roar.
Hang on.
Okay.
Let me, because you're going to feed it a crystal. Yeah, so yours goes right up to full.
Cool.
So, you sit down, feed it the crystal, and press the green button. Yours also roars to life. And all three of them, as they sort of sit there idling, have this like slow like vibration to them.
Well, now that they're on, maybe... So, I'm not sure how she would, like, know that they're handlebars in character, but out of character, I would like to make her touch the handlebars
I would say
while
with
sitting
enough
on the bike.
experimentation, and
Yeah.
also I would say Roxana has a degree of knowledge about Magitex, given her
Oh,
arm.
I mean, yeah, fair
Um,
enough.
so I would say, given, some time to sort of experiment around with them and whatnot, you'd be able to find the basic function of it, which is
Okay.
transportation. It's up to you if you press any more buttons.
So, I'm assuming this is just a, for all intents and purposes, magic-powered motorcycle.
Seems like it.
More or less equivalent to real life.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying out of character,
Out of character, yes.
because I know how a motorcycle works out of
Yeah.
I'm
character,
gonna
Yeah.
at least
press more
vaguely.
buttons.
Wait, what button are you pressing, Star?
Which buttons do we have again?
You have a blue, a red, a green, and a purple. So far, what you know is that you've only pressed each of them have only ever been pressed once. The red one did not seem to do anything. The green one seemed to start it. The purple one seemed to teleport Zacharias away, and the blue one pulled up a diagnostic screen.
Hmm.
I'm gonna
Push
press
red
the
one
blue
now that
button.
it's on.
Say again?
Just go ahead, Star.
Well, I'm gonna push the red one now that they're on.
Okay, you press the red one, and the engine stops. I know, surprise.
He's intrigued.
What were you wanting to do, Aben?
Blue button twice.
Okay. You press it once, the diagnostic screen comes up. You press it again, and a different screen comes up, and you see two blank boxes, sort of stacked on top of each other.
Ooh.
Seems like some kind of input of a username and password, perhaps.
Adwin and Brian.
What are you using to type with?
Oh, that's true.
Put the
She's
thingamabobbers in slow motion at the handlebars.
gonna
Mm.
try to just kind of in the little box trace with her finger.
Okay. You move your finger up to it and try to trace at it, but your hand just goes through it. Doesn't
Is
seem
there
to
like
have
a
any effect.
little? Is there a little touch screen, like a screen on the
No?
device? No.
No.
Handlebar motions at you.
So, while she's doing that,
Mhm.
Velvy is going to keep experimenting and essentially try and drive this thing, because the engine, you said I get an idea of what
Yeah,
does what as
it's
I'm
basic
experimenting,
functions.
so
Yeah.
the engine revs when I turn the handlebar
Correct.
in a certain, it twists the handlebar in a certain way, so it's got to be that perhaps that's what makes it go. So essentially,
I cut out right as you said, essentially.
or pedals for the feet.
Yep.
She'll put her feet there. If they feel like they move, she'll press the brake is on the handlebar, sometimes it's on one of the pedals,
It's
depending
on the
on the bike.
handlebar.
Well, yeah, there's the handbrake too, but there's also like a parking brake, usually.
Yeah.
And that can vary.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what
she'll
that's
try
what I
to
was
make it
saying. Is
go.
that's on the handlebar.
Oh. Okay, so is that something that she's touched yet? Because
I would say it's up to you.
well, since she's now sitting on it proper, she'll touch it. And as she does, she'll also rev the throttle. This is not gonna go well! Because she's not proficient with land vehicles!
No, you're not. Go ahead and make a land vehicles check with disadvantage.
I
Stat?
I've taught you a bit though. I've taught you a
Um,
bit.
That's a good
It's
question.
because
Can
I
I do an
mean,
inspo die of
Um,
help because I have taught her a bit of land vehicle?
not at the moment.
Ugh.
Because this is going to be funny. I'll say, because you're going off of sheer instinct, I'll say wisdom. Because you don't have any prior experience with this, so there's no way you can justify intelligence. A 9. Oh boy. One second.
if she loses another limb this session, actually, I think that would. I'm not sure how I would react to that.
Okay. How long do you rev it for? I'll ask that.
I'm gonna go with just for a second.
A second? Okay.
Because she's not trying to make it go anywhere all that
Yeah.
fast.
So
It's more
as
just,
you do, there's this moment of very high revving before the engine just cuts out.
well, that was anticlimactic.
I had to stall because I didn't know what would happen. I had to look it up.
What do these things even do?
It seems like it's supposed to be a vehicle of some kind. I mean, she'll push the green button again, and
Starts back
then
up.
she'll rev the motor again. Because if you do,
Is the brake still
It
pulled?
should bounce forward.
Roxana?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you over the breathing and
Oh, is the handbrake still pulled?
no.
Okay, so okay. So you go ahead and rev the engine again?
Yeah.
Alright, you rev it. Go ahead and make another land vehicles check with disadvantage. This is going to be
Yes.
funnier. Because now you will go forward.
I hate to tell you, but I was never holding the handbrake.
Well, the brake that you had up before that you were talking about.
The emergency brake, or the parking brake is what I
Yeah,
was referring to.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
I was turning that off.
Okay. Sorry. Gotcha. So yeah, you'll go forward then. So yeah, you go to rev it this time, and both Velvy and the bike shoot off before Velvy, about 15 feet away, goes sliding off it and starts to roll and tumble against the ground as the bike just skids down and just grinds to a halt on its side.
I
Velvy,
would like to.
real
Yeah.
quick, Velvy, just because I want to, take 4 points of damage.
How
Ow!
much?
4 points. From the
4?
Yeah, just 4 from the tumble. Hurt a little.
Ah, yes. Some
Oh.
road rash.
Yeah.
I'd like to try to follow kind of what Velvy did, but try not to hit the ground.
Okay. I'll say go ahead and make a land vehicles check. You don't technically have disadvantage because you at least know how to drive, kind of. Which does help out. You don't take off anywhere near as abruptly or joltingly as Velvy did. Go ahead and make a dexterity check for me.
Mm.
See how stable you can be.
A dex check.
Yeah. No natural 20. All right. Okay, Astari.
Okay.
So as you focus and try and keep yourself balanced, having like 60 additional eyes to see in every direction helps out a lot with your balance. As it turns out, it seems. And though you do not go, at least not at first, as fast as Velvy, you're able to begin to go without falling.
Oh, it's like chocobos, but louder and harder.
It's very loud.
Think that come driving around.
Yeah, you can't hear anything while you're driving.
So she's basically yelling, "It's like riding a chocobo, but louder!"
Yeah.
Edwin's gonna try to mess around and figure out how to get it to go.
Alright, go ahead and make an investigation check, I'll say. First. Since you're wanting to inspect it overall. Alright. So learning from others' mistakes, I'll say you can go ahead and make a land vehicles check without disadvantage.
Okay. So that's just wisdom, I guess, then, right?
Yeah, it's just a straight wisdom check for you.
F.
9. You try to learn from past mistakes. However, you do not, and take off way too fast and are thrown from the bike and suffer 5 points of DM damage.
Of
5
DM
points
damage.
of DM damage.
So you could also abbreviate that to be 5 DMG.
Ow.
Welcome to the club of not figuring this damn thing out.
Yeah.
How do I roll to stop? Because I imagine it's more like I got this bike riding thing down, but nobody taught me how to stop.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a wisdom check. A straight wisdom check, because technically you would have disadvantage at this point, but Hattie gives you advantage, so it's a straight roll.
Would she not be proficient with it?
Well, this isn't a land vehicles check, because
Hmm.
stopping a motorcycle is significantly different than stopping a carriage of chocobos.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
like, you're not arguing. Yeah. However, your past experience with rowdy chocobos like Merrick has taught you a thing or two about beasts that don't want to stop easily. And you know how to make it go. So you simply stop doing that. Make a dexterity check. A 16. Much harder to maintain control when you're slowing down. And though you do not topple over, the bike does fall over by the time you come to a full stop.
Okay, when you slow down, I don't know, it falls over.
Yes, Roxana?
She just kind of does the just making a response without saying anything.
Gotcha.
But she will go over to Star. You alright?
Okay. It's a little heavy.
I will pick it up.
Alright, yeah.
Ugh.
It is surprisingly heavy, but you are able to lift it.
Better be with 22 strength.
No, it's too heavy for you.
I call bullshit. Even the heaviest bikes, I would say, wouldn't be that heavy.
It's actually 40,000
Okay.
pounds.
Ah,
Thank you for getting that off me. Sarah will get up and help hold it up.
There is a kickstand.
I don't know what a fuck.
Well, there's something
It's-
that is
it's-
propped up on. You can see the other bikes, and you saw that it was propped up on it, and it's technically still
Oh.
down. So
have you ever ridden a bike? That's a genuine question. I'm not making fun of you. Like,
Is this on a
out of
table?
character. Out of
Yes,
character.
I've ridden a bike. I'm saying you
Oh.
think Star knows what a kickstand
Oh,
is.
well, it's
okay.
less
The way
about
you
she
phrased
knows
that
what it
confused
is.
me.
Well,
Sorry,
it's less about she knows exactly what it is, and more
she
that
sees the other
she
bikes doing
saw.
it.
Yeah, well, they were all just kind of there at first. None of you were right next to them at first when they first showed up.
Okay,
So
she'll lean it on its weird extended leg thing.
yeah, weird third leg. Why does a bike have legs?
I know what its name will be.
Its third leg?
No, it's gonna be Andromeda. And she'll pat the bike.
Oh, you meant the bike, not the actual. Got it.
No. I would like the DM to note Andromeda has been added to the Chocobo pack. It is hers, question mark. Therefore, it's part of the Starlights gang, and its name is Andromeda.
Oh god, I can just
Because
imagine
it's
a star
literally
brings
out
this
of this
back.
fucking world.
I just imagine a star bringing this back and then having it repaint, just going up to set and be like, see that? See that? I want it to look like a chocobo.
Oh my god, I want it. We need to find Sid, and he has to fix this stuff and paint it like a bird.
Or Kryn, admittedly.
Kryn.
If only Kryn was here. I know, very spooky session. Totally. Anyways.
Disappointed by the lack of chocobo motorcycles Google is giving me.
Choco Cycle. That might help. Or I could be talking out my ass. I don't know.
Out your ass.
Well, shit. I mean, technically, yes. Actually, that's where that comes from. Never mind.
Yeah, that just gives me bicycles that are made of chocolate. So. Anyways.
You know what? Here's something I can try.
Oh, yeah. Go for
I'm
it.
going to try and cast banishment on myself.
Oh my god!
Wait. Hold on.
Interesting.
Sage. Please tell me there's some sage advice on this.
I found a Fenrir bicycle.
I hope this.
I also found a chocobo Segway. Oh, look, this one has a weird bicycle with a chocobo picture in its spokes. Please enjoy this strange photo.
Okay, that's not.
Oh, I will.
Not what I was looking for, but here we are. There's the Fenrir bicycle.
Anyone ever completed? Okay, I found someone who's actually asked about this question. Wait.
We're gonna give Fenrir a chocobo paint job.
That's them banishing them and then putting magic circle up. Okay, there's literally nothing on this kind of interaction. There's a native plane. Existence banished target to a harmless enemy plane. If target is native to a different plane of existence than the one you are on, the target is banished with a faint puffing noise returning to its home plane. It's technically interplanar travel. Yeah, it is an interplanar travel. I'm not gonna have you roll against your own banishment because you can willingly fail that. However, for the ingenuity, I'm gonna give you advantage on the saving throw.
Okay.
Because that is interesting. I didn't even think about that. Wow. I like the creativity. No way! Roll another d20. Do it. I dare you to roll another nat 20.
Also, guys, I found a chocobo posable figure and I love it.
It was close.
Oh.
Let's share the figure.
Show me, MJ.
Okay.
I want to see. But oh my god, 2 nat 20s and then a 19. Oh, it was meant to be.
There goes all my luck this session. Oh my god. Oh, I'm dying. Zacharias killed the DM. Too powerful. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what we're about to do anyway.
So yeah, so you cast banishment on yourself. Which does remove you from this plane and puts you back on the material plane in your body where y'all would have set up camp for this indistinct particular night that this is happening on. Effectively, you are awake, and everyone else is still sleeping.
I will stab you if you wake us up and ruin the rest of the session, bro. I will stab you.
You're assuming he can. You're assuming I would allow such a thing. I will
They'll
just
probably
tell you
try
right
for-
now, it will not work. There's nothing anyone can do to wake them.
All right. After seeing that, there's no way to game it up. You will stop the banishment and just return.
Yeah. Okay. So you would return, back inside of, well, no. Actually, when you return, the magic circle would be gone.
Excellent. Well, that was worth it at least then.
Oh my god. I want it.
I love him.
I want it.
I want him. Okay. There's also you can get one with. We
I want it.
can fangirl later, okay?
Yes.
Hey, share the picture.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah. So yeah. There's that strange circle of events. That happened.
Circle. Funny, because magic circle.
However, I will say, as you reappear, Sacrius, and the rest of you hear this as well, strangely enough. Although for all of you, for the other three of you, it sounds more like an omnidirectional voice that comes from everywhere and nowhere all at once. Sacrius, you hear an interesting ploy you developed.
It was less costly than potentially. Sorry, go ahead.
Interesting more that you returned.
If I just abandoned them, they wouldn't be happy. They're not the people I want to anger. Want that kind of anger towards me.
As a note, y'all don't hear Sacrius. You only hear the entity's voice.
Who is he talking to?
Maybe he's finally lost it.
I mean, he kidnapped us. I don't think he had it to begin with.
Fair.
So Sacrius isn't around. Maybe he's talking to him.
Plus,
Maybe
Plus,
he
it was
figured
also
something out.
it was
I
also less
mean,
Hang on real quick. Go ahead, Sacrius.
I'm just gonna say it was less costly than casting anti-magic field like I considered for a little bit.
That's fair.
I mean, he did push the purple button on the bike and then disappeared,
Yeah.
so...
I wonder if we should, or if we should try to find a way out of here ourselves.
I want to bring it. She'll hug Andromeda.
I'm not sure.
I will not leave a pack member behind.
I'm not sure that's how that works.
My pack, my rules.
But you're... She pats Star on the head. Okay. I guess. Well, I guess here we go.
That's cute.
Alright, so you three take off?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try and ride again.
Alright. As hilarious as it would be, eventually you all make a serviceable serviceable attempt at actually moving. One that does not end up with any of you face planting on the ground. For brevity's sake. As hilarious as
Hey,
it is to watch you all fumble. But alright, which direction are you headed?
So since we
You cut out right as you
Nest.
began.
Okay, so since we got to this nest area, if I point the sword in a different direction, does its glow change?
It does. In fact, now that you're looking at it, pointing it towards the where the nest is, it's not glowing really at all.
Okay, so I look for a way that it does glow.
All right, you begin to once more swing it about and eventually find that same intensity that you had before.
Did the people that made this initially build it with some sort of compass? Is that what this is?
Maybe.
I mean, if that's the case, that is pretty cool, I guess, but I wish there was like an instruction manual.
If only
That
there
would
was
be
an
nice.
instruction manual for magic bullcrap.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Explain how this magic thing works. Explanation: it's magic. It's just the definition
Yes.
for everything, for like all the
Just-
spells.
That is just like God, that is not an explanation for anything.
And yet, we'll still say it, and then ignore it, and keep going.
How doth one conjure
honey.
magical fire out of thin air, and cause it to then explodeth into a 20-foot radius?
Alright, Oriange.
Mother,
How do
I hunger for knowledge.
Thancred, how doth I shot web?
I'm really tempted to.
Prithee tell me.
I'm really tempted to just do the whole
Wait,
bit
wait,
of Oriange
wait.
talking to the fairies, but I'm not going to. Yes, hi. Yes.
Normal kids, Mom, I'm hungry. Uriange, doth mother knoweth how deepest mine ravenous hunger steeps? Whilst thou spendest time grasping thy peers with carriage lot, with thine recent exploits, thine sprawl wastes away beneath thy shadow, as mine knees and ankles buckle in this wretched heat, and mine under feet burn upon the land like blackened surface of a star.
Oh my god.
That's fantastic.
I'm
Here, I'll drop it in ship.
I'm dying.
Enjoy.
Oh,
You know it's correct, though. You didn't say all of that.
It would. Getting back into it, though.
I'll leave the second recreation of it, which is just let it be known to birth giver that my stomach consists of emptiness.
But as you drive forth, that conversation seems to continue. Sacrius, you hear, do you truly think that they would care for you the way you do them?
Perhaps at time. They seem like good people. But they have good reason to distrust me.
You truly think they would trust a Garlean?
Maybe, maybe not, but nothing ventured is nothing gained. They deserve the chance. They deserve the chance to see if they would.
And so you return to what? Save them?
Aid them, tell them what I found out, or just help them, or just aid them in whatever fight is to come.
Interesting. And what if it is a fight that you cannot win? What if it is a fight that you cannot fight? What will our heroes do? Let's watch, shall we? And where that large splatter is in the very center, you watch as this large circular like scrying portal opens, almost like a top-down, like an isometric view of the party driving the motorcycles.
They're all 8-bit. The Sackers will walk over and just watch.
So for you three,
And if you,
oh god,
I was gonna say, and if you are right, there's always another trick to come. There's always another spell.
alright. So for you three, as you're driving, thankfully, for the most part, you're able to avoid most of the trees, and you don't necessarily drive at full speed either because of all the obstacles. However, after about 2 hours of driving now, you're no longer inside of that forest. You've long since left it and are now more in just kind of a barren wasteland. However, something you're noticing up ahead is the coloration of the ground. It goes from like a very like deep brown dirt colored to a like almost orangish reddish color. And it's not just the ground. Looking up in the skies at that same point, it seems to make that exact same transition. Almost like this next area, there was just like a like a filter put over this area almost. For you, Star, given your earlier connection, looking at this, this seems to indicate some kind of shift in Aether, from what you understand.
She'll relay that to the group.
If how so, I wonder.
Just because you pressed a button don't mean you're smart.
Well, technically, y'all didn't hear him, but you're about to hear this.
That's off the table, I'm saying
right,
that.
right.
You're right.
Actually, I'll just
I gotta
say
get.
Recklessly pressing buttons doesn't increase intelligence.
Yes,
But-
and in fact, the only reason
but you do
she
all
hasn't
hear.
pressed.
Hold on. You do all hear as you're looking at this shift in hue. And who says that pressing a button is what you were meant to do?
Mm,
Wonder if he knows he's talking out loud.
I mean, he's obviously a very powerful being. Probably has to have the intelligence to match. At least,
I wouldn't assume that.
I said probably.
Probably.
Whether he does or not is a different question, but probably. Either way,
mm.
do you have any idea what kind of aether this color change might indicate?
Given the color, it
Uh,
seems like it's fire.
Fire? Yeah, I'd say fire.
Mm.
I mean, fair. It's almost like this whole world has been, or at least this whole area has been scorched.
Yeah. It would seem that way.
Do y'all proceed forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
We're following the sword and shit, right? Still.
Yeah. I assume so.
Yep,
Alright.
that was the idea. The party doesn't have to follow her, obviously, but
But we trust you.
That- I
You're
mean,
our
that seems-
party.
So,
That seems like the fairest thing.
yeah.
yeah, fair. Okay, fair enough.
We have nothing else really.
As you proceed forward, Aidwin, upon moving through that shift, you do immediately get this, like, not alarming necessarily, but like this familiar tingle in your chest.
Familiar tingle. like I know this area?
More like it almost feels like you have a connection to this area. Like almost like your very being is connected to it.
I'm gonna break and take a look around.
Right? So you pull off to the side. Does anyone else follow her?
Yes.
Alright.
Yes,
Maybe.
I will follow as well.
You all break off to the side. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, all three of you. Aidwin is very confused.
Oh. Well.
Wait, why did you have disadvantage?
Disadvantage. I just never switched it off. That is
Oh,
a
I see.
36.
Nat 20.
That is a natural 20. I find everything. Even the things the DM doesn't want me to find, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, God. Wow. I mean, literally, a DC 30 is considered nearly impossible in 5e, so.
Uh,
35
I
by
mean,
that logic
it's
is
almost.
impossible. Air quotes.
Yeah, it's almost like I
obviously.
have a ridiculous intelligence and investigation modifier.
Yeah, it's almost like you're built for this or something. I don't know.
It's the
you all,
only skill I have above 10!
funnily enough, as you're searching the area, you do hear the voice chuckle, seemingly randomly. However, as you search the area, God, fucking 36. As you search the area, in the immediate vicinity, there's nothing. There's no landmarks. There's no trees. There's maybe a couple like a couple rocks here and there, but there's nothing distinctive that really jumps out at you as marking this particular spot is any different. However, as you're going about your search and really scratching your head as to why Aedwin wanted to stop, you turn to Aedwin and you can see, just like in the forest, in the living load, Aedwin is completely engulfed in flames in the exact same way as before. Aedwin, you don't notice this at all. However, effectively everyone but Aedwin notices this.
Mm.
You're on fire again. Like in the forest.
Gonna look down.
You don't see anything.
I don't see that I am.
I don't think you saw it in the forest either. This is very weird.
Very weird.
Should I stop, drop, and roll?
I mean, if it's
Are
not
you in
burning...
pain?
No.
I don't know what you do for fire that isn't hurting you.
Can fire even hurt you anymore? Aren't you, like, immune to that at this point or something?
It doesn't hurt as bad.
Both of you hear from Aedwin, in both Aedwin's voice and another, this soft, almost longing tone, and it just says a single word: home. Aedwin, you have no recollection of this.
Well, that's not weird at all.
What?
In your voice and another, you just said home.
Edwin just kind of like cross her arms, like, I don't remember saying that.
But you did.
You also don't see that you're on fire currently, so I actually go reach out to pat her on the shoulder. Perhaps this place is just messing with our heads.
As you go to do it, Aedwin. Yeah, I'm sure you know what you need to roll, Aedwin.
Charisma?
No, it's the, yeah, here it is. No, that's not it. No, it is. Go ahead and roll 1d4 for me, Aedwin. You take 2 points of fire damage as you try to touch Aedwin.
Oh yeah, I get 1 health back. I heal half of the fire damage I deal.
No, I know that, but...
Yeah.
Wah! Just wah!
Wow. Chana turns into Waluigi. I may not have gotten in a smash. Wow.
Well, Aedwin, that fire is in fact real, and that didn't feel good.
Okay, what do I do?
Where is which way does my sword glow now? Is it still one way or is it pointing a different way now?
It's still pointing in the same direction.
I feel like if I'm on fire, I'm just gonna blow up the thing.
I don't know. So I'm gonna assume Chisumi hasn't been with us.
Nope.
But I'm gonna have now be the moment Star stops and looks around. Has anyone seen Chisumi?
No, you know what? I haven't seen her.
That's not good. Bongo.
Okay. You just have to turn it up. I changed the sound, the soundtrack.
Well, I just thought Bongo died,
No,
so I was scolding him.
you just have to turn it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we change up the atmosphere a little bit.
Oh, it's not good.
I would like for all three of you to make perception checks. Okay. As you're all standing there, maybe a little antsy. Maybe a little antsy or nervous. You all get this, like, shiver down your spine. That had been there at the very start, but you had forgotten about until now. And Star, thankfully without having to even turn, your rear eyes see off in the distance what has to be some kind of enormous bipedal creature. Too far to make out any real details, it's just a silhouette. But you can see it very slowly wandering off in the distance. Technically in the same direction you guys were headed, although significantly farther away.
There's something up ahead.
I mean,
I don't know what it is. It looks like it's going the same way we were.
be ready for whatever might happen.
As a note, Sacris, this creature would not be something you see from the scrying pool.
Oh.
Just to...
No, I know what you're talking about.
So
Should
what
we
do I...
follow it? Should we go back for Chisumi?
Shisume hasn't been here the whole
What
time.
if she's back there?
She's not been here the whole time. Why?
I don't.
Very well.
She just looks worried, like she might
You-
have been, and
you all
Star
hear-
wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, you all hear. Very well. And a moment later, there's a popping noise. And standing behind you is Sakris.
Behind
As
you.
always.
Hey there.
Well, that was
Where were you?
well, that was a complete waste of time. I got transported back to the circle we started at. I was
Huh.
trapped in those magic circles again. I cast Banish on myself, ended up back on the plane, basically where they all went to sleep at. You all were asleep, I couldn't wake any of you up.
So the purple
I-
button took you back to the circle.
Yep.
Hmm.
Which led you in a circle back here.
No. I was there. I managed to escape. I returned. I came back to the circle. I met with that voice again. He was just sitting there watching you all for a while, like we were scrying on you.
Oh, so that was you was talking to.
Yep.
Hmm.
And rather than just sit and watch the whole time, I figured I'd rather go ahead.
The longer we stand here, the farther away that thing is gonna get. Do you want to go after it?
We should.
I'll need a lift.
Then you keep your hands in an appropriate place.
I will keep them on the motorcycle.
You can ride mine. I'll ride with Roxy.
Okay.
That's fair.
I hope I don't blow this thing up when I get on it.
Do you want to ride with Roxy then?
Last time I touched her, she burned me.
Fair.
Normally I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I like my skin on my body.
Yeah, that's the most preferable place. Alright, get on the bike and we'll see if it
Alright.
blows up.
Getting back on the bikes. They do not blow up.
Oh, good.
Beautiful.
But I'm still on fire.
You are assumedly still on fire. Everyone else thinks you are.
She's still on fire?
Yeah, she is still on fire.
You are still on fire.
Mm.
Then
I cut
again, she said, I'm not sure why it's not affecting the bike, but then again, and just stopped.
Magic.
She's
Yeah.
just gonna kind of talk to herself, like trying to talk to like Ifrit, and be like, "Is this your fault?"
Make a charisma check. You don't get an audible response, but you begin to get this feeling of longing, of a desire, but you're not entirely sure for what. It doesn't feel malevolent, but it feels like innocently desperate, if that makes sense.
Hmm. Is it something to do with this place?
Make another charisma check. There's no response.
I'm gonna try to make a history and see if I remember this spot at all.
Go for it. Oh, I like the beat of this music. Got me shivering. As you think, and you try to remember, the only thing you can remember is that dream you had of Gridanian flames. And as you think to that, you remember there was more to that dream. There was a figure. There was a figure there, shrouded in black shadow.
Have we taken off yet?
Yeah. If y'all want to have doing this while y'all are traveling, that's
Oh
fine.
no, because like I wanted Star to walk up to Edwin and try to poke her to see if. Ouch.
Yeah, I kind of figured that we hadn't left yet. Kind
Yeah, it's up
of
to y'all if y'all want
like
to.
we're getting on the bike and just
Well,
like.
no, I want to poke.
Yeah. Yeah, Adrian, go ahead and roll a d4.
Oh no.
You take 4 points of fire damage.
Okay. Ouch. No.
I'm sorry.
Can you
It's not your fault, Adwin. To be fair, you don't even know it's happening. Apparently, you don't see it happening.
yeah. She'll motion at you again. And she'll dig into her bag and take out a water crystal and like pop it in your mouth. Cool down. She like shrugged. Cool down.
Oh, I don't think that's how that works, but it would be hilarious if it was.
Maybe it should have been ice. She'll dig back through her bag.
Oh no.
There are
There's
band-aid
no way for me to
solutions.
describe it. It's happening exactly as you expect it to. You open your mouth and Star just shoves the crystal into it.
Ah! Is this even?
So much.
She's just standing there confused.
No. Nothing.
Nothing seems to happen from shoving it into Advin's
Maybe
mouth.
it should have been ice. She'll reach up to take the crystal back, I guess.
And stuff like this is why I came back to help.
What do you mean by that?
I asked him to, rather than watching, I asked him to send me back to you all because I wanted to help.
Oh, if you're gonna be snarky, we don't want you back.
I'm not snarking. I was being honest with you.
By implying we're stupid and you need to save us.
No. Okay. No, I was not being thinking we're all stupid.
Also,
not
to
thinking.
Also, to be fair, I'm probably as smart as him, and I'm definitely stronger.
Mm.
I try to be nice, and this is all I get.
What are you?
But
Zach-
your
What are you
comment
suggesting?
wasn't nice.
I was just.
Zacharias, I'm joking with you. I'm pulling your leg.
I'm not.
Then I did not intend it to be snarky. I just wanted to come aid you in whatever you were heading towards. Everyone needs help, myself included. Whatever's going on.
Star saw we should probably be in pursuit of now.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright.
Whatever that was, it's here, and that's concerning.
At
Alright.
least it also means we're not alone.
Did you? Was there any follow up to the? Is there was a guy there?
No. I was just reminding you that it wasn't simply Gridania burning down, but there was a third figure there that you hadn't ever really figured out who it was.
Well, I have an idea.
The reason why I made my comment.
Also,
was
does the
because-
giant snake thing look? Does the giant creature look like the snake?
Which snake?
The snake in the dream?
No, it wasn't a snake in the dream. It was like a shadowy figure, like a shadowy humanoid figure that was in the dream.
Oh.
It was like
Oh, I thought you said there was a giant snake.
no, it's like it was it was effectively like a silhouette of a humanoid that was just
Okay.
had like smoke sort of like trailing off of it. So that
Oh, I
making
see.
it like impossible to really tell what it is effectively, other than a humanoid of some descript.
I don't know. You told me that there was a snake in the dream.
I don't remember telling you about a snake. I might have described the smoke as like being snaky and like, or being like smoky, and maybe you misheard it as like snaky. I don't know. I don't remember
I don't
mentioning the
know,
snake.
because then
think
I
you said
asked Arnalder about the snake, and he said that it was her impurities.
And for the record, I made my comment out of the reasons of you're all to try to help each other and others. And that's why I felt you were worth helping, you were worth aiding. That's why I made my comment not out of Stark.
No, okay. I do remember. I do remember Aedwin.
Okay.
Yeah, because in the dream it was like a snake that was wrapping around the crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, you're totally right. Sorry. Um. So yeah. Replace all the humanoid stuff with snaky worm thing.
Okay, so it was snake thing.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so does the creature that we're trying to go and hunt look like the snake?
No.
Okay.
But at the same time, it was really, really, really far away and impossible
Okay.
to really make out any real shapes. All Star was able to notice was that it was a thing that seemed like
There is something
humanoid.
there.
Yeah, it might have been humanoid, maybe, but it was massive because she could make it out from it being so far away.
Hmm.
So
Okay. Then Aedwin's going to get on the bike and start it, and then kind of just whisper back to Ifrit and be like, "Can we at least turn the fire down? I don't want to hurt my friends if they get close to me."
you did turn it off last time.
Oh yeah. I'm going to just try to turn it off.
Make a Christmas saving throw against your own spell save DC.
That's 25. That exceeds.
All right, it goes out.
Okay, is it gone now?
It is.
I will look in her direction.
Yep, it's gone.
You managed to turn it out again. Well, that's good.
Oh.
I just
Okay.
kind of wish you could see it too.
Yeah, I think Ifrit and I need to have a chat with each other soon.
Oh, is it his doing?
Maybe.
That
I'm not
explains.
sure.
That explains why it doesn't hurt you, at least.
That's positive.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if I want
Alright,
to try and
let's
get the
roll.
context for all this.
Mm-hmm. Maybe
It's a
when we
long
trust you.
story.
Whenever you feel like
A
trying.
lot of long
I'm open.
stories.
That's very fair. Y'all have a lot of long stories that like y'all really can't just. Y'all have to fade to black them because of how long they are.
Yeah. Alright, well, Aiden's gonna turn on the motorcycle and then rev it a couple times. All right, let's hunt this thing down.
Indeed.
All right.
Shelby will rev the bike as well and wait to release the brake until everybody else goes.
All right.
Well, you have to kind of lead us with the sword.
I mean, that's fair. Okay, so waits until Sacrius is on a bike and ready to go then.
I'll be ready to go then.
All right. One by one, each of you begin to take off, following the sword, and Star keeping an eye on that figure off in the distance. I was actually just about to say we're going to take a break. That's the perfect spot to take a break. So
My
yeah,
intuition is correct.
yes, we're going to take a break for 15 minutes. So we'll be back here at 8:20 for my time.
Okie dokie.
Sounds good.
Unpaused. So, as all of you continue to follow the sword, you are eventually, after what feels like hours of driving, which doesn't necessarily feel like it's been hours of driving. You know it's been hours, or at least assume it to be. But it's that feeling of like rapid passage of time without really realizing how much has gone by, if that makes sense. Where like you're doing something, you think it's 5 minutes, you look up at the clock and spend like an hour. That kind of effect.
Mm-hmm.
And so before long, really, you find yourselves brought to what looks like the remnants of a burned village of some kind. There's not too many buildings remaining, but given the large area of just strangely desolate land, this entire area, of course, has been completely barren of even the trees that you had once seen. But this spot in particular just feels different. Even for you, Aidman, it still feels familiar, but it feels different somehow, and you're not entirely sure how. Or why, for that matter. But looking around, what does remain seems to be two halves, or half of two different buildings. You see what looks like the corner piece to another, very obviously burned to the ground. Actually, at this point, I need everyone to make Constitution saving throws.
You fuck.
1 sec.
Shouldn't be advantage, but thank you. That was the first one.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Constitution.
Rakshan, Velvi. As you arrive at this village and you all begin to sort of take in what's around you, it's not intense, but you're beginning to feel more exhausted, and you, especially as a trained warrior, can very easily notice your more labored and heavy breathing. You do have 1 point of exhaustion.
Noted.
Excuse me.
But I would like for everyone now to roll perception checks for me. So that way I know what I can reveal to you to pique your interest.
Seriously?
Fucking alright, double nat 20, man.
Again.
Alright, it was only a 15 this time. We're in the clear. Star as well, please.
With advantage, too.
Yes. With advantage. From Hattie. Alrighty.
Good job, Hattie.
As you begin to take a look around the area, taking in the sights, for Astaria and Sacrius, you both notice the smell almost immediately, and it hits you like a truck. And for you, Astaria, it's quite surprising that Velvy hasn't picked up on the scent as quickly as you did. But it's the scent of charred flesh. And
Oh, familiar from the fucking campsite we blew up.
well, yeah, the fireball.
My first ever fireball.
Your first and only ever fireball.
Yeah. Well, no, I've used it again recently.
That's true. That's true. However, well, yeah. So, because I'll be rolling 8. I'm sorry.
Terrible.
Sounds
Like pressing to Velvy's side, like nope.
it smells like a battlefield.
It smells like when we blew up those bandits.
Which, at this point, as they're pointing it out, Adwin and Velvy, you both begin to smell it as well.
Oh.
Didn't need that pointed out, but thanks. She will get off the bike and pick Star up and backpack her.
Aw.
Alright.
Yes.
Where are you headed?
Further into town, because apparently that's the
Alright.
source of this, stench.
Alright. So following it in, oddly enough, the same direction that your sword is pointing. And as you all make your way...
Imagine my shock.
Yeah, I know. Surprise! Plot twist. As you all finally reach the point where the sword has been bringing you, and it begins to softly pulsate, you're brought to a rather horrific sight. The sight of what appears to be several bodies charred to almost unrecognizable extents. And while there are quite a number of them, most of them are unidentifiable. Their faces and any kind of real identifiable features have been burned away. However, one you do find amongst the pile is a surprisingly well intact body laid over top of another. And out of all the bodies that you found, this is the only one that looks even remotely identifiable.
Are they face down, face up?
Face down.
I will lean down and gently turn them over.
Alright. As you lean down and begin to turn the body carefully to get a look at who it is, the one who had the body that was actually on the ground, that was under the top one, you don't recognize. It's a male here, but that's about all you can really tell or make out. However, the other one you can tell is a Makote, and one you recognize immediately as the Warrior of Light.
That answers that question.
All of you definitely would have heard Roxy's or Velvy's reaction to that.
I mean, Star is on Velvy's
Yeah.
back. She
Yeah,
doesn't have
yeah.
a choice but to see it too.
Well, I mean, it depends on how far you turn it over. So,
I would turn the body over gently and cease touching a corpse as soon as possible. So, laying the corpse face up.
okay, so yeah, she would be able to see it.
Adwin's hand is just gonna kind of cover.
Oh, does Adwin go
her-
over as well?
She's been. I mean, she's over with them. Yeah, she's following
Okay.
still.
I thought that like maybe she was like off doing her own searching or whatever. Still, but yeah, no. Easy enough to come over. As you come over to look at the bodies, you do recognize the Makote. However, of everyone in the party, you're the only one who recognizes the male. He is your father.
So,
She's just immediately going to like. Tears are just gonna stream down her face as she just kind of slumps to the ground.
what's wrong, Adwin? Did you know this person?
That's Papa.
Velvy will kneel down next to her and give her a hug.
Star will
Very-
slide off the back and hug her too.
Very tight squeeze.
It's okay, it might not be real. It might not be real. We don't know where we are.
Somebody is going to pay for this sick game.
You call it a game. I call it your future.
I don't know who you are and I really don't care. You don't get to tell me what the future is. I haven't made it happen yet.
But it
The future
will.
is an ever-winding river that changes at any point in time. You have no idea what we're going to do, or when it's going to happen, or why.
I'm sorry, I love this entire conversation. it's all great. I love it.
I mean, this guy said he's not an Asian. Velvy is still like, this guy's an Asian. I don't care.
Oh yeah, no,
He's-
Star's like fucking Asian.
He's just as much of a dick as one.
Oh god.
I mean, if it looks like shit, smells like shit, stinks like
Polish
shit,
a turd,
it's
still a turd.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nancy in school just have an entire practicum dedicated to being a cryptic asshole.
I mean, how do you think they got their name ASEAN?
But
This might be the one time where I edit in a sound effect. But tell me, mortals,
After kind of just sitting there, just trying to you're trying very hard to calm down. She will get up and wipe her tears and just. This is not okay.
No,
no,
it's
it's
not.
not.
and what is it that you intend to do about it against a creature that is creation itself? Do you truly think that the Warrior of Light can stand toe to toe with it? Or that any of you can?
I mean, are you just admitting you're the world now? Is that what you're doing?
No. I am something else.
Worse. Got it.
I am something
Worse.
else.
Got it.
That's me laughing, not the creature.
Yeah, I figured that.
It's the same thing, really, at this point.
I mean, it kind of
It
is.
is.
It is. I mean, y'all. It's pretty obvious it's me. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Obvious.
It's better
I
than-
mean, I
thing is
also
obvious.
recognize the picture.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen that picture used for the DM patron
Yeah,
for a
Yeah, I
warlock.
also have.
yeah. It's tied to the cheating DM homebrewery thing. That's where I got it anyway.
Mm.
It's better than laying down and just dying.
Well, that's true. Many and more have come before you, fighting against destiny, fighting against everything that says they fail. And even they have proven to come out on top time and time again. These so-called heroes. Heroes of their own story, maybe.
I don't remember any of us calling ourselves. Well, I've called myself a hero, but that's because I call myself a hero for hire. I don't remember any of them actually taking that title.
Aidwin's gonna kind of raise a little finger, like, never
The
mind.
title of hero is not one that you choose to take. It is one that is given to you, whether you want it or not.
I mean, sounds like a semantic difference to me, but you basically get it the same way anyway. Sticking your nose in other people's business and making sure they're driving and the wrong people are, not.
Well, this small glimpse is but one preview. There are many more to come. Not all as pleasant as this one.
Nothing about this has been pleasant.
And yet, some of those to come are even worse.
But see, here's the thing. You know who else shows us stuff like this? Granted, it's past instead of future, but the world tries to traumatize us in the same way, but with past stuff instead of future stuff.
The
At least,
world is such an interesting creature.
I mean, I'm gonna kick his ass just like I'm going to kick yours for hurting my friends, so,
Perhaps. But now is not the time for us to do battle. The stage is not set, and all of its pawns are not yet in place.
I mean, you're an assy and you can just snap your fingers and set the thing up. Isn't that your thing? You know, snapping your fingers?
Unfortunately, the Asians have their methods, and their methods are mine. Meaning everything must fall as it must. It cannot be influenced into doing so. It simply must be. Do not worry. I do not expect any of you to understand the machinations of a god. The world has proven that much to be true. But I leave
You're
you.
humble just like him, too.
I leave you with this one final clue. That which is hungry will devour until satiated. But if such a thing cannot come to pass, how does one stop a ravenous eater?
Kill the eater, get rid of the food.
An interesting conundrum, I'm sure. And one that I'm sure all of you will be most eager to figure out. But unfortunately, our time is short. And as fun as it has been to toy with all of you, I cannot continue to do so. But know this. Even in success, even in victory, lives are lost. Even when you try your hardest. But still there is hope. The question that remains, Adwin, Astaria, Rakshana, Sacrius, Delger, all you have come in contact with, even those you have yet to see. They all rely on you. They all count on you, even if they disagree with that fact. If an endless cycle relies on a ravenous hunger, if that ravenous hunger only creates an endless cycle, that hunger cannot be satiated. With that, we're going to end the session for tonight. I know it wasn't necessarily your stereotypical scary session. However, I feel like the ominous warnings that I'm able to fourth wall break because Halloween special are spooky enough.
I agree.
Especially given, what I teased with Adwin and the dream, the creature, everything, the whirl, And admittedly, originally, this session was planned to end with y'all fighting the DM. But I wanted to explain things, and y'all were exploring and doing things, so that didn't happen this special. But maybe next special. Who knows? We'll see. With that, we'll go ahead and go to the 3 questions, and we will start with Rakshana.
What I liked. This was all, because, like, it wasn't so much a jump scare creepy, it was more a scare through question. Specifically unanswered question. And that's far better than jump scares if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't really like jump scares.
They're just annoying.
They're not really scary. They rely on you being surprised. So it's not really scary.
Yeah, and I mean, with me, that's also a good way to get like kicked. Because my reaction to things like that is I kick it or punch it or
So
you know,
your reaction
if I have
is to be a monk.
Well, I mean, it could also be if I have a weapon, I weapon it. So
I mean, monks can use weapons.
Reaction is to be a weapon. My reaction is to weapon it. I say as I pull out a knife that could be a monk weapon because it is a Tonto-bladed knife.
Yeah. Alright. Anything else?
Yes, I just have a knife laying on my desk.
A knife!
What do you have?
It's a nice knife.
A knife! No!
No!
I stabbed him 37 times. Carl, that kills people!
Did you see the... Not to interrupt constantly, but did you see the picture I posted? About Carl?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, God.
What picture where?
It's in shit posting. I posted it quite a while ago, but I was playing Trials of Mana, and one of the characters has a dog named Carl. And unfortunately, at least he thinks that the dog died. And so when I ran across that grave, I forgot that his dog's name was Carl. So I saw Carl is here, and the first thing I thought of was Carl. That kills people.
Did not know that.
But yeah, that was the first thing I thought of when I saw that. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, continue on, Roxana.
Didn't like. Good question. Yeah, can't think of anything. Looking forward to more.
And you know the great part about this is the DM is a special only monster, which means you'll never see him outside of the special. So that's what's great about this. But when you do get to see him, I get the fourth wall break and have no, like, qualms about it. But yeah.
Yeah, this was great.
Oh, right. What are you looking for? Oh, yeah, you said what you're looking forward to, everything. Next up we'll go to...
more!
Next up we'll go to Aidwin. Hello.
Oh boy. Yeah, I definitely liked the atmosphere. It was a good little
Spooky.
just spooperino.
By the way, I hope you really liked the actual plot twist there at the end.
Yeah, you messaged. You said DM'd me if I ever said to Star if I said what my dad looked like, and I'm like,
and the
wait, why
moment
is
I
he bringing
said
that up? I wonder. And I'm like, wait a
yeah,
minute,
the
no.
moment I said that was when I was asking, when I was like, wait, you went over there?
You said
like,
you said you're male, and I'm like, well, I wonder if he's talking about like Thancred or something.
no, yeah, that's what I had expected to be the trigger for the fight, effectively. So that wasn't necessarily the final thing y'all could have found, mind you. It's just we were running out of time, right? So, but effectively,
Understandable.
yeah. But effectively, I was intending on leading y'all through some kind of imagery of for each character, like each one of the party's characters. So, like even Lagani and Gabusa. It was supposed to be this whole spoopy thing, but now all of that extra content gets saved for next Halloween or whatever. So
I was gonna say, you said like next special, so I'm like, Merry Christmas. I'm going
Merry
to give you
Christmas, horrifying
despair.
Your Christmas gift: despair and death.
Oh no, Sephiroth, no.
I was about to say, your Christmas gift, trauma.
Sephiroth.
Stepping on the beach, stepping on the beach. Didn't like, I can't really say that there was much that
I think we all know
that
what
I
you
can
did,
really.
right?
Well, yeah, I don't like seeing my dad
Papa,
dead.
Yeah. It's gonna make y'all's next reunion even more. I just realized that.
She's just gonna sit there and fucking cry for a bit.
Your dad's gonna be so confused. He's like, I mean, I know it's been a couple of years, but like, well, I mean, I'm happy to see you too. It's gonna be great. What are you looking forward to?
More. That's just a good time. Also, where does this like we're about to go into fight with Arnaldo. Where does this take place?
This takes place at an indeterminate time for which you are all at level 19 and are traveling.
No, probably on the road before we encountered what's his face.
Like the only real
The
stipulation is that like at level 19. Any point past that, like when effectively I'm saying whenever y'all want to have had this after level 19.
I don't think we got experience for the Worrell fight. So in all reality, it has to be before that fight. So
I think you did. Yeah, you did. For the Worrell, yeah. No, it was the fight before the Worrell that you got experience for. Yeah, you didn't get experience.
yeah.
No, you did, because I remember I was having trouble calculating his XP, and that's what was taking me so long for his. I think you do. I don't know. If not, I'll probably just give you XP for it anyway. Because like.
I mean, we need less than 5,000 to get to level 20. So.
Yeah. So like.
If we didn't get it from the Worrell, we'll get it from Arnaldo.
Yeah,
and
exactly. So
it'll be okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, next up is Josh. Hi.
Hey.
3 questions. What's up?
I enjoyed just the general weirdness of the session. Without error, I just liked how strange it felt.
Significantly different than like the typical session, or at least that's what I was going for.
I didn't like how much people were on me this session. I didn't enjoy that.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to you doing it. I'm looking forward to the boss fight.
Alrighty. Fair enough. Yeah, alright. And Astarion, hello. I know I did quite a bit with you.
I had fun.
Taking Tsusume away from you.
I don't like
making
that
you
you've
pay.
taken away my honorary chocobo friend.
I mean, did I though? Who knows?
Goodbye, yes.
Who knows if I did? Technically speaking, I ended this session with y'all still in that dream. Just saying. So like, who knows if you actually lost it or not? I left it ambiguous. Smiley, leaky face. Anyways, continue, son.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to just everything as per usual.
Wonderful. 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 Well, I will say, I enjoyed all of this. I really like doing, especially, I really do enjoy these type of sessions, especially like the special ones that you get only like once in a blue moon or whatever. Just because it lets me sort of change up the flow, right? Because obviously with, you know, anything there's a formula, and y'all have figured out my formula pretty well, I will admit, but after years of doing this, it doesn't surprise me, so I think we've been doing this for like a year and a half now, something like that, so, but yeah, so I enjoyed all of it. I enjoy just the constant everything that's happening. Honestly, the only thing I really didn't like was the fact that I didn't get to fight you guys. I was really looking forward to just fighting y'all. Then I didn't get to do it. But, you know, the DM only has so much power to manifest himself within the world for such a limited time, and it is so very taxing and hard for him, so I'm sure once he regains his powers, he will be back. And that is one thing I'm looking forward to. The other thing is the actual novel fight. That's gonna be fucking wicked. Y'all,
Yeah.
he has so many mechanics that y'all are gonna have to deal with. Oh boy, it's gonna be fun. I will say it's obviously D&D-fied, right? So, but I've done my best to make it as close to a true mixture of D&D and the MMO Final Fantasy XIV. So I really tried my hardest to make sure that he really meshes with both systems as much as possible. And that's another reason why I gave y'all the MP system, is because he also functions off the MP system. Because he's the secret super mega boss. So, you know. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to, primarily. It's just that fight. One more week. Oh, I'm so excited. But yeah, alright. With that, I'm going to go ahead and end the